All right, good morning, guys. It's Mr. Jesse, and today I will be discussing the continuation of our topic under your circulatory system. So, as a review, what are again the three types of circulation? There are three. You have again your coronary circulation, your systemic circulation, and then your pulmonary circulation. So, coronary circulation, it involves the movement of blood within the tissues and cells of the heart. You need to say yung circulation, nandyan lang yan sa loob ng heart, hindi lumalabas. Okay? Again, take note, coronary, heart, heart, coronary, para hindi nyo makalimutan. Again, coronary, heart, heart, coronary. You have also discussed about the valves. The valves, again, these are structures inside your heart, which prevents the backflow of blood. Okay? Para hindi bumalik si blood. So what are the four valves inside your heart? Of course, you have your tricuspid, your pulmonary, your aortic, and then your bicuspid valve. Your tricuspid valve, it is in between your right atrium and then your right ventricle. Yung naman bicuspid, it is in between your left atrium and then your left ventricle. Okay, so let's go now to pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary, of course, from the word pulmonary, is refers to your lungs. This is the movement of blood from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart. Okay, mean to say vice versa. This is the movement of blood to the lungs, from the heart to the lungs, then from the lungs to the heart. Meaning to say, sa dalawang organs lang, okay, ang movement ng blood. Okay, that is why it is called pulmonary circulation. Walang other organs na involved dito kundi yung heart lang at saka yung lungs. Okay? Then you have your systemic. Your systemic, this is the movement of blood from the heart to the rest of the body. When I say rest of the body, other organs except your heart and your lungs. This will involve your kidney, your liver, your pancreas, your intestines, your stomach, your brain, etc. Basta other organs except your heart and your lungs is under your systemic circulation. So class, tigam ninyo, no? Systemic again is to the rest of the body. Okay. So of course, nag-quiz din tayo and you're able to answer the questions correctly. So this is the diagram, okay? Again, of your uh, uh, circulatory flow, okay? And supposedly, you will have an assignment. Number one, how does smoking affect the lungs and circulatory system? And number two, give us these four common diseases of the respiratory and circulatory system. Or was not able to have your classes last week. So, siguro ano na lang ninyo ito, no? Assignment sa bahay. Okay. So, supposedly, mag-activity tayo last week, no? Wherein we need to determine, okay, how the two systems work together to distribute oxygen and nutrients to the body. Paano ba nagtutulungan ang dalawang systems na ito para makapag-distribute ng oxygen at nutrients sa ating katawan? Okay? So, alam ko na alam niyo yung sagot dito. Napakasimple lang po. Okay? And, sige, I will give you 20 seconds, okay? To, again, to answer this question. Paano ba nagtutulungan? How do these two systems interact, collaborate, work together, no? To distribute oxygen and nutrients to the body, to the cells of your body. And we all know that oxygen and nutrients are very much needed by our cells, no? Without oxygen, nutrients, our cells will not be able to perform its functions needed, of course, by the body. Okay, so time is up. So again, as we all know, no, let's first have a recap of your circulatory flow. So the blood coming from the body will of course go back to the heart through our veins, no? It will enter through our superior and inferior vena cava. So the inferior and superior vena cava are the largest large veins that carry blood to the heart. Okay, so the vein will carry blood back to the heart. It will enter our, of course, heart through our right atrium, then it will pass through the valve, through the tricuspid valve, Then it will enter our right ventricle. Now, our blood here is deoxygenated. You need to say wala siyang oxygen. So, pupunta siya sa ang organ. So, pupunta siya sa lungs. Okay. And in the lungs, as we all know, mangyayari ang tinatawag nating gas exchange in the alveoli wherein there is exchange of gases. Okay? Yung oxygen ay papasok, si carbon dioxide naman ilalabas. The oxygen will now, of course, be carried by the blood. Now, our blood is already what? It's already oxygenated. Meaning to say may oxygen na si blood. So, saan pupunta si blood? Babalik siya sa ating heart through our, of course, through our left atrium, and then it will pass through our bicuspid valve, and it will go now to our left ventricle. From the left ventricle now, it will exit the heart, of course, through our aorta, which is the largest artery of our or in our body. Okay, this is short. Now, saan naman pupunta yung blood? Of course, it will now go to the different parts of the body para gamitin ang mga cells ng ating katawan. Now, this is the simple circulatory flow. Of course, mas complicated pa yan. Okay? But if you will, of course, take up medicine, nursing, you'll be able to understand better the circulatory flow. Okay? So, again, vein, heart, through our right atrium, right ventricle, then it will go to the lungs, through our pulmonary artery. From the lungs, the alveoli, where gas exchange happens, it will go back to the pulmonary vein. Then, through the left atrium, papasok yan sa heart to the left atrium, to the bicuspid valve, to the left ventricle, then it will go out through your aorta, then to the different parts of the body. Okay? Take note of the mnemonics, varav, lalalav, for you to be able to memorize and, of course, recall the basic circulatory flow. So, again, how do these two systems work together? Again, the answer is very simple. The respiratory system takes in oxygen to the alveoli, where gas exchange happens, of course, between oxygen and carbon dioxide, which is distributed by the circulatory system through the pumping action of the heart. Okay? Again, distributed by the circulatory system through the pumping action of the heart, including nutrients and others, to the different parts of the body through the blood vessels. Through the blood and the blood vessels. Meaning to say, sa respiratory system ay isang system wherein it takes in, no? Pinapapasok niya. It allows the entry of oxygen. Without the respiratory system, hindi papasok si oxygen, no? It will not, the oxygen will not be able, will not be carried by our blood without the action of the respiratory system. It will take in oxygen, and the circulatory system, yung trabaho naman niya ay i-distribute yan to the different parts of the body through the pumping action of the heart. Okay? Through the pumping action of the heart. Okay, so sana naintindihan niyo again. The respiratory system takes in oxygen. Siya yung nag-a-allow para pumasok si oxygen sa ating katawan. Once pumasok na sa ating katawan, the circulatory system through the blood will carry oxygen to the different parts of the body, of course, through the pumping action of your heart. Okay? To the pumping action of your heart. Sino nag-distribute? Of course, si blood vessel. Si blood through the blood vessel. Therefore, kapag yung isang system ay ma-damage, it will also affect the other system. That is why they have a mutualistic relationship. Kapag yung isang system na-damage yan, it will also affect the other system. Kaya dapat healthy po ang ating lungs at saka ang ating heart, including our blood vessels. Okay? Now, paano ba masisira? Of course, there are so many factors that can affect the health, the well-being of our circulatory and respiratory system. And one of them, of course, is smoking. Smoking, of course, as we all know, is a bad practice, a bad habit. Of course, many Filipinos tend to get addicted to it because of the addictive properties of smoking. Okay? Smoking affects your skin and bones, it affects your lungs, it affects the circulatory system, your blood, your heart, your stomach, even your fertility, even your skin, your gums, your intestine, your stomach, and your lungs and other organs are affected by smoking. So again, I will give you 2 minutes to be able to answer this activity. So you need to write down the effects of smoking on the different parts of the body. Okay? So if you look at the first box, skin and bones, ano ba yung mga effect ng smoking sa ating skin, sa ating bones? Now, the second box, to the lungs. Ano bang effect ng smoking, ng sigarilyo sa ating lungs? Third box, to the circulatory system, to the blood. Number 4, to the heart. Number 5, to the stomach. And number 6, to our fertility, particularly to the reproductive organs. Okay? Bigyan ko kayo ng 2 minutes to be able to answer this question. Okay, time is up. Okay, I presume, siguro i-pause na lang ninyo, then answer kayo ng 2 minutes. So I presume you're all done with your activity. Okay. So again, what are the effects of cigarette smoking on a person's respiratory and circulatory system? So marami pong effects. Perhaps you have seen already this image in the RHU or in the hospital, no? If you can observe, these are the illnesses. These are pictures depicting or showing how smoking can affect a person's body. Okay? Smoking, of course, is a bad practice. It's a bad habit. Okay? Because of the effects of the chemicals to our body. So these are the risks from smoking, or these are the possible illnesses, okay, that the person may get if he or she smokes cigarette. So cancers, okay, cancer like for example cancer of the lungs uh, can also affect it can also cause leukemia. It can cause also cancer in the stomach, in the kidney, the pancreas, the colon, the bladder, no, the cervix. It can also cause stroke, blindness, gum infection, no, the gums will be infected, no. It may cause blindness because again, as we all know, the eye, yung mata natin, it needs a lot of oxygen. And a person who smokes frequently, no, yung circulation po ng blood hindi na po maayos. Kaya the oxygen that enters our eyes hindi na po siya ganun ka-sufficient. Kaya nagkakaroon po ng blindness, gum infection, aortic rupture. Yung aorta po pwede po yung mag-rupture of course because of the chemicals that the smoke, the cigarette contains. Heart diseases, of course, the chemicals can damage our heart. Pneumonia is an infection of the lungs because of smoking. Hardening of the arteries, this is due to the chemicals, no, in cigarettes. Chronic lung diseases and asthma, yung ating bronchitis, yung ating asthma, yung ating COPD, no, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. These are diseases that can possibly result from chronic smoking. Reduced fertility. So mean to say, yung ovary, yung testes ay affected po ng sperm production ay affected po ng smoking. So apektado po ang ating fertility. So if you want, of course, to have a productive life, no, to have a healthy, productive life, and of course, our reproductive capability will not be affected. Of course, umiwas po tayo sa pagkisigarilyo. Kulawin niyo, gidadamo maraming epekto ng smoking. Kaya you should avoid smoking. Of course, hip fracture. Nagkakaroon ng fracture ng ating mga hip bones. Okay? So ito lang po yung ilan. Marami pang mga possible illnesses that may arise, no, from chronic smoking. Bakit po? Because of the chemicals in cigarette. These are the chemicals. You have your hexamine, butane, benzene, nicotine, carbon monoxide, acetic acid, methanol, stearic acid, ammonia, toluene, arsenic, cadmium, acetone. Tingnan niyo pong mga chemicals na ito, guys, no? Some of them, no, are even used in industrial products. Ginagamit sa pintura, ginagamit sa panlilinis, sa bahay, no? These are harmful substances. That is why yung prolonged or chain smoking, no, can damage our organs in the body dahil po sa mga harmful chemicals na ito na nandun sa ating cigarette. hindi lang naman po yung person na nag-smoke ang apektado. Of course, you have second hand smoke, 'di ba? Na nai-inhale ng mga bata, nai-inhale ng ibang tao. So kahit naman hindi ka nagsigarilyo, if one of your family members is smoking cigarette, then it also affect you, no? Because you inhale the smoke, which of course contains the chemicals, okay? That could possibly affect also your body. Yung ammonia, yung mga chemicals, these are harmful substances or chemicals that can possibly affect, kaya nagkukos ng maraming mga illnesses including cancer. Okay, so class, guys, as much as possible, while you're young, you avoid smoking. Of course, there are temptations, may mga tukso dyan, may mga nagyayaya sa inyo magsigarilyo, na mag-try. But of course, I advise for you not to try or engage into this bad habit. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga sakit? Ano ba yung mga sakit na pwedeng makuha sa paninigarilyo? Okay? You have your hypertension. Sa ating cardiovascular system, when you say cardiovascular system, this refers to the circulatory system. Okay? This is the medical term for your circulatory system. Your cardio, actually, medical term din yung circulatory. Pero yung cardiovascular, it is siguro mas ginagamit yan ng mga doctors. Okay? Mga nurses. Hypertension, of course, there is an abnormal increase in the blood pressure. More than 120, 130 na ganyan, yung systolic, at more than 90 na, no? Yung ating diastolic. So there's already an abnormal blood pressure. That's hypertension. Again, maraming factors yan, and one of them is smoking. Arteriosclerosis, it refers to the hardening of the blood vessels, the arteries, no? Particularly yung mga arteries sa heart, no? This is very, of course, very important kasi if the arteries, no, will harden, hindi na sila flexible. Meaning to say, hindi na sila nakaka-flex. It will tend to, of course, obstruct, no, the blood, no, passing through the blood vessels, and it could possibly result to other problems because the blood is no longer circulating properly inside the heart. Okay? Coronary heart disease involves, of course, the heart. Vascular diseases, yung mga blood vessels naman ito. Okay? Probably there is of course, meron ding hardening. Minsan nagkakaroon din ng blockage yung mga arteries, no? These are just some of the effects of smoking. How about your respiratory, your chronic bronchitis? Ito naman yung common. Emphysema. Chronic bronchitis, of course, inflammation yan ng ating bronchi, no? Emphysema, this involves our alveoli, no? There is already abnormality in the alveoli. Asthma, of course, this refers to the of constriction of your bronchi, no? Then you have your cough, asthma, allergy, no? Caused by allergic factors yan. Cough, tuberculosis, TB, no? Tuberculosis naman is bacterial. Again, it is transmitted, okay, through coughing, no? Prolonged exposure to a person who is infected with TB, no? Lung cancer. This is one of the worst possible these illnesses or illness that a person may get from smoking. Kasi chemicals yan, over a long period of time, kapag lagi ka nag-smoke, it can affect your lungs. Okay? What else? Of course, we need to have a healthy lifestyle. Okay? Not just avoiding smoking, but we also have to have, of course, balanced diet, exercise. We need to have at least enough sleep, no? Yung at least 8 hours of sleep per day, no? Para po maging healthy tayo. Avoid yung mga pagkain na nagko-cause ng mga illnesses, okay? Yung mga avoid too much sweets, too much fats, too much salty, no? At yung mga harmful po na mga products like your cigarette, no? It's gonna affect our life, of course, no? So mag-invest po tayo, hindi lang po sa pera, hindi lang po sa business, hindi lang po sa bangko. We invest also in our health, no? Kailangan po natin 'yan para in the future maging healthy po tayo at wala po tayong mga sakit. Okay? So, supposedly we're going to have an activity where you need to count your pulses. Again, take note yung ating mga pulses. You have your temporal, your carotid, Your brachial, tinuro ko na yun sa inyo, your brachial, radial, your femoral, popliteal, etc. No? These are your uh, pulses. So heart rate, this also refers to your pulse rate. Okay? This refers to the number of times your heart beats in a minute or your beats per minute. And what is the normal heart rate? Of course, it is 60 to 100. That is the normal range of your heart rate. If it is more than 100, probably it's a problem. But if you have exercise, for example, nag-exercise ka, tumakbo ka ng 1 kilometro, of course, your heart rate will increase. But if you're just resting and your heart rate is above 100, then there's a problem. Okay? And you have to consult the doctor. And if it is below 60, there's also a problem if you're just resting.